So let's start solving this example. 3x cubed plus 8x plus 4. The first thing, I'm missing the term x squared. So I'm going to write down this again. 3x cubed plus 0x squared plus 8x plus 4. And everything is divided by x plus 2. That means this is x minus k. So k equal negative 2. So I'm going to write down the coefficients. Here is k, negative 2, and here is 3, 0, 8, and 4. Let's start. The first number is going to be goes down 3. Negative 6 times 3, negative 2 times 3, negative 6. Add these together, so it's going to be negative 6. Now, negative 2 times negative 6 is going to be 12. Add these together. 12. Add these together is going to be 20. Negative 2 times 20 is going to be negative 40. Add these together, so it's going to be negative 36. The remainder here is not equal to the 0. So this is r of x. This is the constant. And this is x. And this is x squared. That means f of x divided by d of x is going to be 3x squared minus 6x plus 20 minus, because negative 36, the remainder, and the divisor is x plus 2. That's it for this example. Here we go. We got it. Let's go to the next example. Example 17. Now 17, you have to do the same thing, but now we have a fraction. There's a fraction in the divisor, 1 over 3. Oh no, talking about 17. 17 is 180 x minus x to the power 4 divided by x minus 6. So the first thing, I'm missing a lot of term and I need to write down this one is first. So a negative x to the power 4 plus 180x and divide by x minus 6. I'm missing how many terms? I'm missing the cube and the square and the constant. So what I'm going to do, it's say negative x to the power 4 plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared plus 180x plus the constant 0. And everything here is divided by x minus 6. Here k equal 6. So I'm going to divide by 6. Here is negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 80, and 0. Write down the first number, which is negative 1. 6 times negative 1 is going to be negative 6. 0 plus negative 6 is going to be negative 6. 6 times negative 6 is going to be negative 36. Add these together, is going to be negative 36. Now, 6 times 36 is going to be 216. Let's check that. 6 times 36 is going to be 216, negative 216. Let's add 180 minus 216 is going to be negative 36. The same thing, 6 times negative 36 is going to be negative 216. Add these together is going to be negative 216. That means the remainder here is not 0. This is the constant. This is x squared, x cubed. So f of x divided by d of x is going to be equal negative x cubed minus 6x squared minus 36x minus 36 as a constant minus 216, the remainder divided by the divisor, which is x minus 6. That's it for this example. Let's do example 18. The same thing. But now we have fraction in the divisor. So the first thing I'm going to check, there is no missing term. Cube squared 1, and the exponent here is 0. Here is x minus k. That means k is going to be equal negative 1/3. So I'm going to use the scientific division. Here's negative 1/3, 6, 20, negative 30, and negative 12. So the first number is 6. Now, negative 1/3 times 6. So it's look like this, negative 1/3 times 6. Simplify, so it's going to be 2, negative 2. The result is going to be negative 2. So I'm going to write down here negative 2. Add these together. So 20 minus 2 is going to be 18. Now I'm going to multiply negative 1/3 times 18. This look like you're doing negative 1/3 times 18. Simplify is going to be 6. The result is going to be negative 6. So I'm going to write down here negative 6. Now we're going to add these together. It's going to be negative 36. Negative 1/3 times 36. 1 second. So negative 1/3 times 36. Negative 1/3 times negative 36. This one with this one. 6 by 3 is going to be 2. 3 by 3 is going to be 1. So it's going to be 12. Negative times negative is going to be positive 12. So here is going to be positive 12. Add these together, is going to be 0. So r of x is 0. This is the constant. This is x. This is x squared. So f of x divided by d of x is going to be x squared. Sorry, 6x squared plus 18x minus 36. Because our remainder is 0. So we're going to say here it's 6x squared plus 18x minus 36. If you look to example 20, example 19, we have x cubed minus x squared minus 26x plus 25. Now they're telling you k equal 5. So what we're going to do, we're just going to use k. There is no missing term here. And they're telling you write the function in the form of x minus k and the q of x, which is the quotient, plus r, the remainder. So let's first of all k equal 5. So here's 5. Add down the coefficient 1, -1, -26, and 25. Then I'm going to, here is the first number 1. 5 times 1 is going to be 5. Add these together is going to be 4. 5 times 4 is going to be 20. Add these together is going to be -6. Now 5 times -6 is going to be -30. Add these together is going to be -5. So here is the remainder, which is r over x. So they're telling you write down here is f of x equal, they're telling you x minus k q over x plus r over x. This is the constant, and this is for the x, and this is for x squared. So f of x is going to be x minus k, that's mean minus 5, q of x, which is x squared, plus 4x minus 6, plus r of x, which is -5. That's mean f of x is going to be x minus 5, q of x, which is x squared, plus 4x minus 6 minus 5. That's it for this example. So this is right. Now they ask you, there is another part from this equation. They ask you find f to the 5. That means f to the x equal 5. So it's going to be 5 minus 5. And here is going to be 5 squared plus 4 times 5 minus 6. And everything here is minus 5. If you look just to this part, is 0. 0 times anything is going to be 0. Times 5 squared plus 4 times 5 minus 6. 0 times any number is going to be 0. And here is minus 5. That's mean f to the 5 is going to be equal to -5. So we're just going to type here -5. Here we go. Let's go to the next example. With example 21, it's a really important example. You're going to do exactly the same steps, but look to the k. K is 1 minus the square root of 5. So just be careful from this example because you're going to do multiplication. So k equal 1 minus 5. There is no missing term here. So what I'm going to do here is the scientific division. I'm going to write down here 1 minus the square root of 5. And write down the coefficients on the other side. So the coefficient here is -6, 9, 30, and 12, because there is no missing term. Now the first number is just write down -6. Now look to the second part. We're going to multiply 1 minus the square root of 5 times -6. That's me. Let's do the multiplication on this side. You're going to multiply -6, 1 minus the square root of 5. So distribute. So it's going to be -6 plus 6 square root of 5. Okay, so the first number here is going to be -6 plus 6 square root of 5. Now, next step, let's do some space here. And 12 here. Then I'm going to add these together. So when you add these together, add just the 9 with -6, because we can't add the 9 here because there is the square root. So 9 minus 6 is going to be 3 plus 6 square root of 5. Now the second part, we're going to multiply this one times this one. So 1 minus square root of 5 times 3 plus 6 square root of 5. So in this case, you have to distribute. 1 times 3 is going to be 3. 1 times is going to be plus 6 square root of 5. Now square root of 5 times 3 is going to be minus 3 square root of 5. Square root of 5 times 6. So it's going to be plus or minus 6 square root of 5 times square root of 5 is going to be 5. That means 3 combine. I'm not going to combine now. Square root of 5 minus 30. 3 minus 30 is going to be negative 27. Combine these together, so the plus 3 square root of 5. So it's going to be negative 27 plus 3 square root of 5. So negative 27 plus a 3 square root of 5. Add these together, the same thing, we're going to add 30 only with this number. So it's going to be 3 plus 3 square root of 5. Then we're going to multiply this one times this one. Let's do the steps here. So 1 minus square root of 5 times 3 plus 3 square root of 5. This one is going to be equal. 1 times 3 is going to be 3. 1 times 3 square root of 5 minus 3 square root of 5, and minus 1 times 3 is going to be 3. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 is going to be 5. This one is going to be, check this one, cancel with this one. And here is a 3. 3 times 5, so minus 15. It's going to be negative 12. So here is going to be negative 12. Add these together is going to be 0. So in this case, you just have to be careful. The remainder here is 0. And this is the constant, x, and here is x squared. So off of x, we're going to write down as what they ask us to write, like in this form. So x minus k, x minus k is this number, which is 1 minus square root of 5. This is the first parenthesis. And then we're going to write down the q of x, which is, here's the q of x, negative 6x squared. Careful, sorry, you're not going to get confused. Q of x, negative 6x squared plus 3 plus 6 square root of 5. This is for x, plus the constant, which is 3 plus 3 square root of 5. I'm done from this parentheses, plus the remainder is 0. So that's it. We're just going to write down this. The second part from this example, they ask us to write down, find f 1 minus the square root of 5. That means f to 1 minus square root of 5 is going to be equal. You see, you're going to plug in 1 minus the square root of 5 here, minus 1 square root of 5 here is going to be 0. So it's going to be 1 minus square root of 5 minus 1 minus square root of 5, and keep going to the rest here. Just gonna put the rest here. But on here, if you distribute the sign, this is going to be -1 plus the square root of 5. That means everything here is going to be equal 0. 0 times anything is going to be 0. This is for the second part. So here is going to be 0. And let's check the first one. It's really long. Here we go. Now let's go to the next example, 22. They ask us with the 22, list all real solutions or the zeros. If you remember from the previous section, the zeros, that mean the factors. So that means we need to factor this polynomial. And they're telling you x equal -4, it's the first factor. So let's check here. Example 22, we have x cubed plus 8x squared plus 19x plus 12. And they're telling you x equal -4. The first factor of the first solution, x equal -4. That means this is the k. So x, the first factor is x plus 4. Now I'm going to use this factor to factor this polynomial by using synthetic division. So k equal -4, I'm going to write down here. There is no missing term. So 1, 8, 19, 12. Now let's start. The first number is 1. -4 times 1 is going to be -4. Add these together is going to be 4. Now -4 times 4 is going to be -16. Add these together is going to be 3. -4 times 3 is going to be -12. Add these together is going to be 0. So here is R of x. Now Q of x is going to be, this is the constant. This is x squared. So it's going to be x squared plus 4x plus 3. That means f of x equal d of x, which is the divisor, times q of x plus r of x. F of x is going to be d of x, which is this one, the divisor, so x plus 4. Q of x, which is x squared plus 4x plus 3 plus 0. The remainder is 0. Now we have to keep going to find the solution. So from here, f of x is going to be x plus 4. And this one we can use, we can factor this one because it's a quadratic. That means here is x. I'm going to put 3 here and 1 here, plus and the plus. So that's because we can factor this one, the quadratic. That means we have 3 solutions over 3 zeros. So we're going to say x plus 4 equals 0. That means x is going to be equal -4. And x plus 3 equals 0. That means x equal -3. And here x plus 1 equals 0. That means x equal -1. So here is the zeros. For this example, we're just going to type here -4, comma, -3, comma, -1. I think we have to write down from the smallest to the largest. Oh, that's it. We don't have to. The same thing with example 23. No, so let's keep going to example 23. We're going to do exactly the same thing. So this is the important thing, example 22, 23, 24, because that's what we're going to use. So that means we're going to factor f of x. So here we have the first factor, which is x plus 6. k equal -6. I'm going to write down this again because I have missing term, x cubed minus 0x squared minus 52x minus 96 is going to be equal 0. So use the scientific division. So here is k, which is -6, and here is 1, 0, -52, -96. There's the first number. I'm just going to write it down. -6 times 1 is -6. Add these together is going to be -6. Multiply these is going to be positive 36. -52 minus 36, -52 plus 36 is going to be -16. -6 times -16 is going to be 96. Add these together is going to be 0. So the remainder is 0. This is the constant x squared. That's mean f of x is going to be x plus 6 and x squared minus 6x minus 16. Now we can factor this one more because it's quadratic. It's going to be x plus 6 and here x. I'm going to put 2 here and 8 plus and minus. Negative is going to be negative. So that's mean we have x plus 6 equals 0. X is going to be -6. And x plus 2 equals 0. That means x is going to be equal -2. And the third 0, x minus 8 equals 0. That means x is going to be equal 8. So we have 3 zeros. So we're going to type here -6, comma, -2, comma, and 8. And the same thing with example 24. For example 24, we have fraction. Let's work on the last example. So I already know the first factor is going to be x minus 1/3. Now here on this one, there is no missing term. So I'm going to use, here is 1/3, and here is 3, -22, 43, and -12. So the first number is a 3. 1/3 times a 3 is going to be 1. Add these together is going to be 21. 1/3 times -21 is going to be -7. Add these together is going to be 36. Because 43 minus 7 is going to be 36. Now 1/3 times 36 is going to be 12. Add these together is going to be 0. So r of x is 0. That's mean f of x is going to be, the first number is, the first factor is this, x minus. Constant x squared. So it's going to be 3x squared minus 21x plus 36. The next step, I need to factor this one. That's mean f of x is going to be x minus 1/3. I'm going to take the 3 as a GCF. So it's going to be x squared minus 7x plus 12. So here is f of x is going to be x minus 1/3. And here is the 3. I'm going to open 2 parentheses here. X 4, 3 minus. Yes. Write down the GCF first. So f of x is going to be 3. And here is x minus 1/3. X minus 4 and x minus 3. We have 3 zeros because this one equals 0. That's a wrong statement. Wrong statement. The first one is x minus third equals 0, so x equals 1/3. And x minus 4 equals 0, so x is going to be equal 4. And x minus 3 equals 0, so x is going to be equal to 3. So we have 3 zeros. So we're going to type here 1/3, 1/3, comma, 4, comma, 3. That's it for this example.